Hey guys, real quick introduction. I'm here with Andrew at Ryst Massage, and we're gonna get into just talking. What got you into this?
Well, it was a journey. I was actually in my early 20s. I wanted to be a massage therapist. Realized that the longevity was only like 10 years with the hands, and I said I need something more long term.
Yeah.
Fast forward, I went through the Marine Corps, got into the health and fitness. I like helping people. I just wanted people to meet their full potential. The workout industry didn't work out because everybody wanted money. All I wanted to do was help people, so we didn't see eye to eye, so I tried to do my own thing. Didn't work out. Tried to be a chiropractor. Pandemic hit, got a little too hard, but I loved the fact that we can heal ourselves through the spine and stuff. I realized that if I couldn't be a chiropractor, massage therapy was the next best thing. Mm-hmm. Got into it. It was very natural. It didn't take very long for me to be, and this isn't to be arrogant, but be one of the best because of the injuries I had. I'm a quick hands-on learner. Of course, massage is all about hands-on. The hardest part is just knowing what muscles are doing what. So you put everything together, you put the fitness together. And honestly, none of this works if you don't do your part.
Okay.
So you need the fitness to keep the muscles strong and where they're supposed to be. Everything's an imbalance.
Yeah.
So if you're strong in one area, most people are strong in their quads and their lower back. They're weak in their glutes and their abs. So I teach them how to strengthen their glutes and their abs through my personal training background. I relax the muscles that are too tight through the massage, and then I offer chiropractor assistance through the 4 chiropractors I use to keep the bones where they need to be. Nice. Put all that together in about a year or so, depending on how bad your posture is, you can be back to normal. You can have a nice life. You can do things.
Exactly when you said that, I started to be like, oh shoot, because he's going to be judging my posture because I was doing one of these.
I can't help it. Once you see somebody, so the normal person sits at a desk, and they'll start like this, right? They're good. They're in good posture. Yeah. They don't have a strong core, glutes, abs. The first thing to go is the back, so they rotate the hips inward. Okay. So posterior. Mm-hmm. That's why you see a lot of old people look like they don't have any butts. Their heads are all the way out here.
Yeah.
It's normal, though. So the first thing to go is hips. Once the hips go, well, shoulders can't really extend, so they just cave in. This is the C posture.
Right.
And then their shoulders creep up. They can only breathe through their chest. Their necks, they're trying to see things, or their cell phones are way down here.
And we just all turned into this creature from the swamp, the lagoon.
And it's not over your body. Every year you get like a new body. Oh, that's cool. Happy birthday. It's a new you.
Yeah, it regenerates.
Different cells die off just like your skin. Cells go all the way up, flake off, and then the top portion is the dead part. Underneath is the most healthiest. As you're sitting in this posture for hours on end, your body is going to form and create bones and everything into those postures. So those people with the big humps, or we're not going to go with scoliosis because that's a medical condition. But people with feet that are about an inch in difference in length, all that is just either impingements or just it's everyday wear and tear. Yeah. It's not just the athletes. It's not just the extremists. It's everyone. Everyone needs a chiropractor. Everyone needs a therapist. Everyone needs a personal trainer. Personal trainer needs a personal trainer. You can't see yourself. That's the biggest thing.
That's cool. And we were talking about this a little bit earlier, switching to the personal training aspect. You do CrossFit?
Yes, I love CrossFit. So CrossFit's great because when you find the right CrossFit gym with good trainers, because not everyone is good, just not every chiropractor, therapist, doctor is good. So you gotta find the right one. If they teach you the proper movements, functionality, then the workouts are great. An overhead press is so you can grab something up top and bring it back down. Clean and jerk is to come up, get the hips through, and be able to hold something up high. A deadlift is just to be able to pick something off the floor, and a squat is just to everyday activities.
So I know I love watching like the CrossFit games and stuff. But I'm like, man, those people have good abs and they look great, but I would never, because I just hear like the injuries some people have with CrossFit. Tell me, so you have a different perspective. I see you already grinning. Tell me.
I used to be the biggest CrossFit hater.
Good.
Biggest. I was all about functionality. I trained in functionality. And I was like, CrossFit people, they pick up too much weight, they overexert themselves, and they get hurt. Well, that can happen anywhere. If you go past your limits and you get out of position, something's going to hurt. CrossFit is supposed to be to hit your max potential, you want to be just to where your functionality is just maybe a little out of posture, because you're trying to hit heavy weight, but you don't want to be so out of posture you get hurt. You want it to be a little bit of a struggle, but you want something that you can do depending on what the rep is. Say we're doing a 10 round AMRAP, as many rounds as possible, and we're doing push-ups, squats, and sit-ups. Well, no matter how good your push-ups are, if you're doing 10 of each and you're blowing through these rounds, you're eventually going to get tired and it's not going to look as good. At that point, once the posture or the functionality posture goes away, start working on the form. Just slow down a little. You decrease speed, increase functionality. If you have a lot of energy, you can decrease functionality and increase speed because it's going to be very consistent for a while. It's just when you overdo it that you get hurt.
No, I can see that. And I've had my injuries kind of just bodybuilding, you might say. And I have this problem. I try not to do it anymore, but like I injure myself deadlifting. Every year or two, I get froggy and I try and deadlift again, and I always screw up my lower back, right? But I see some people sometimes in the gym, and they're like hunched all over. I'm like, oh, you're gonna snap your stuff right up, and it's hard sometimes. Like, no, but yeah. So I'm really big now. I feel like as I've grown older, in reducing kind of the weight and really making sure I have proper form and just feeling kind of like the muscle I'm working. But what do you think about like that as far as like a bodybuilder's approach?
I can fix them and I can fix you. And just all it is just finding out if you can activate your glutes and abs past your quads and your back.
When you deadlift.
Yeah, when you deadlift, it's if you're hurting your lower back, you're not lifting through the ground with your glutes and your abs. People don't realize that the core is not just the abdominals, the obliques, it's a lot of the back muscles, your QLs, poster over here, I don't know all of it, but most likely because we're going down, most people round in and they don't. There's a couple of things. People don't have the dorsiflexion, and dorsiflexion is the flexion in the ankle coming towards you. Plantar flexion is like pushing down the pedal. So people can't flex their ankles enough to get down. So they're either on the toes or heels, or they have to bend over. So because they don't have that flexion. So dorsiflexion, ankle flexion is huge because everything's a stack. So if the ankles can flex more, so can the knees, so can the butt go further back, and then everything's even. All right? And once you can get here, as you come up, it's just a little hamstring motion. Yeah. Squeezing glutes and abs to go straight up. If not, you're going to go forward like this.
The form looked really good there. It looks like your back pretty much stays in the same position the whole time. Is that
body awareness? Yeah. So we teach glute activation. The way we do glute activation is we'll lay down. We'll have people put their hands under their butts. They do 5-second squeeze, not with their hands. I get people who squeeze their butts with their hands.
That could work too.
No. I asked the one, I go, which one squeezes harder? He goes, my left hand squeezes harder than my right.
You're doing it.
Right? So squeeze the butt cheek for 5 seconds. Yeah. Squeeze the other butt cheek for 5 seconds. You do it 5 times each. Then we check which side stronger could you do it. Then we take the legs away, so you're laying on your back. You bring each leg as close to you as you can. Do the same thing. You'll realize that if you try to pull from the quad, you can't. If you activate the hamstrings, you'll cramp. You lift the heel up, and it activates nothing but the glutes. So we do the same thing, And then it's a pelvic thrust. Well, the pelvic thrust, the position is shoulder width, hips back, knees slightly bent, and we're here.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happens to be the golf position.
Oh, shoot.
Or athletic position. This is, DBs and stuff. A lot of people, when they get here, they usually have either a big arch, right? Or they're in like this.
Yeah.
So to get into a neutral plane, shoulder width apart, hips back, slight bend on the knees, hands right about where the knees are. It's a pelvic thrust back, so the hips are rotating down. You're breathing in, and then you breathe out, squeeze the glutes and the abs together, forward. Upper body doesn't move. It's all hips. So once you can get the hips moving, I shake a little bit. I have a little bit of weak glutes and abs. You'll find people who catch. If they can't move the pelvis around the femur.
Okay.
So it could be impingement, it could be oscillation, too much build up in that area. We got to break it up. But this motion, as funny as it is your squats, your deadlifts, your power cleans.
Yeah.
It's the foundation for everything. That's where my philosophy comes from.
Really?
I can do this for all day.
It seems that way, but I don't think I want to see you doing this.
You encompass that exercise with what's called puppy pose. Puppy pose is great. It's just you're in like a downward dog, but you're really trying to get the hips and the butt in the air, trying to bend the back as much as you can. I like to put the forehead on the mat or like a bed or something, and then reach out. That not only gets the lower back, you get lats and everything. Oh, yeah. Do that for 5 minutes a day. Do the glute activation. Your back pain gone like a week. So,
interesting.
I had a guy 30 minutes took 30 minutes to get out of bed. By the time the glute activation, in 1 week it was 10 minutes. After that, I've been seeing him for a couple months, or about 3-4 months. He just went on a trip and he went down 150 stairs, down and up, for one of his vacations to get down to like this waterfall area. Could have never done it before.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And those stories like that, is that what kind of keeps you going? Like the stories of some people.
I've had a couple people cry.
Really?
Not because of pain. Some most of them cry because of pain, because you can't really get anything unless you. Pain causes change. Yeah. Somebody dies in your family. Because of like smoking, you're like, I'm not going to smoke anymore. Right. Somebody dies for obesity, I got to get in shape. I do believe pain causes you change, but there's a lot of releasing in emotions as well. Really? If you were a heavy drug user and I did a full deep body cleanse to you, those toxins could be released again, and you could have a contact high. Really? It's interesting. So you get people like in the 70s and 60s coming to see you. They'd be like, all right, well, this is a possibility if you were a heavy drug user. Taking somebody who can't do something, like reach behind their back to dry themselves or to scratch their back, or giving them the ability to work out again, play with their kids again, but just having a better quality of life, that's a good purpose. Anything like that is.
I got to circle back to the drug users. These are 60-year-olds. Are they currently using drugs, or are you talking about they used drugs years ago?
Well, if they currently use it, it's still in their system. Yeah. But we're talking like heavy drugs, like LSD, whatever it is that they decide to do back in the day. Oh, wow. That's interesting. There hasn't been many cases on it, but there is possible.
That's kind of interesting. But it's just like locked into their... It's just bundled up somewhere in their body?
Yeah. It's just like I do a lot of hip work. I do a lot of interior pelvic work, and that can release emotions. Like
really?
Deep emotions of tragic events that you're just having bound up. A lot of us hold it like in our groin. They talk about it in like chakras and stuff. A lot of people don't have an open heart because they're closed off. So a lot of us live in what's called an animal instinct. That's from like the belly down. Reproduction, animal instinct, eating, animal instinct, stuff like that. It's not until you get to the heart, throat, and eye chakra and other stuff, I don't know, that it really, we tend to teeter off. Though I'm not into energy healing, there is a purpose for it because we do have energy fields and magnetic fields and stuff like that. So if you believe that someone can help open something up, a lot of it's just belief. If you believe in something, then it's going to work. I'm kind of talking in a circle, but yeah,
it's like the power of positive thinking or something like that, faith.
the placebo. Joe Dispenza talks about the placebo effect. And all that, he's a chiropractor who shattered his back in like 6 different places doing a triathlon because somebody hit him in a truck.
Oh, shoot.
He decided not to get surgery. He was supposed to have holes and everything up and down his spine. Chiropractors talk about innate intelligence, the body healing itself. For 3 months, he did nothing but meditation because he couldn't move. He was locked in a bed. And in 3 months, he was, not only could he walk again, he was working out, he was healed. He had no major surgeries. So he's done studies to show that the power of meditation, positive thinking, affirmations, putting good out into the world and accepting good back into yourself, that's how you get everything. So you project what you want with the mind, you bring back with the heart. If we don't think we're worthy, if we don't think that it's real or that we can have it, then we're not going to get it. It's not until you ask the universe what you want, getting it. So he has workshops all over. He has information all over, but he talks about the more enlightened and happy and prosper, all that comes with prosperity. But just being good to others, having courtesy, really increases the field around us. Whereas people who wake up, do nothing but watch the news, get caffeine driven, and now their energy field is slowly depleted. They always seem like all the bad stuff's happening. Where something bad happens to a good person, we'll get through this, it'll be fine.
That's interesting because I stopped watching the news maybe 2 years ago. I feel like we haven't really watched the news since we moved to Florida. Here's my thought on it, though, is what's going to happen is happening. You can vote and stuff, but I don't need to follow it every day because that's just going to depress me. And it's always like the world is ending. But tomorrow's still coming. It is what it is. And I couldn't take on any more stress. I have my own stress. Why do I need to know what's going on in politics? I don't care. So it's very interesting you say that. And I very much believe that thoughts become things. And if you surround yourself with that positivity and that energy, then you will see that happen and just what you're putting out. It's different people groups that have different ways of saying it. Reap what you sow, you have karma. Everyone believes it in a sense. There's a lot of people that believe it, I'll say. Not everyone, obviously. But there's a lot of different cultures and stuff that have different words for it. But I think that's because it's real. For you, how, is that kind of instrumental in your business, that practice of the thoughts and such? And what does it look like for you?
I don't teach it unless somebody asks for it. They ask, because I'll ask, are you looking to get bigger or smaller? Are you looking for a physical change? Are you looking for just to be able to do stuff? What's your why? Why are you here?
No.
So I got to figure that out first. From there, all I can do is inform them. I understand. I've lost 20 pounds. I've gained 20 pounds. I understand what it's like to have to break your limits to either get big, small, and not only that, but it's an emotion. You have to emotionally change, because if not, you're not going to be able to get to that next level. Because it's like Dragon Ball Z. You have to shatter who you are to become something new. Keep doing the same thing over. Well, what do they say about repeating the same thing and not getting
insanity, right?
Insanity. We're all insane to a point. So that's why I like doing things like maintenance. Anybody who's like, I just want to maintain, get away from me. That is the hardest thing to do. Everybody should try to get bigger. Everybody should try to get smaller. You got to keep it changed.
The challenge, though, too.
As for my practice, I'm more medical. So I'm going to find the things that are going on with you. For you, for an example, your pec minors are probably tight, which is why the shoulders come in a little bit.
They are.
So if you sit,
I just worked out too.
A lot of people don't work out the back anyway. So the back is always weaker than the front. So our shoulders come in. A lot of people sit because they sit. Like I said, the hips come in, everything starts to roll. I care more about physically what is going on with your body. Mentally, we can talk about some things, but I'm not certified in that. but I can guide you on how to be better. There are plenty of motivational speakers out there. There are plenty of affirmation tapes and stuff. There's an affirmation book. I forgot what it's called, but it's an affirmation per day. It's a 365-day affirmation.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I don't know how it works on this year, the leap year, but you
gotta just read one twice.
But it's trying to be consistent. It's like anything else. Be consistent with your water, your eating, your knowledge. I've been pretty lazy, but that's because I came from working 70-hour weeks. I'm only working 20, making more money than what I was doing.
Nice.
And I'm enjoying that time off. I'm going to get back to the right mindset to where eventually books like this, that's going to tell me all the origins and insertions.
It's a big book. Godspeed.
Yeah, it gets boring because it's like, this attaches here and does this. But you got to have some belief. Whether I remember in the military, I'm pretty sure you heard this: fake motivation is real motivation. Because eventually, that BSing or the belligerent, hoorah kind of stuff turns into fun stuff. Yeah. So works the same way. When I started this, I had nothing. I just came off of a car accident.
Really?
My fault.
Yeah.
My relationship was pretty much done. I was by myself. I was freshly moved out here. And so I had no one, nothing around me. I was doing deliverance. I decided this is it. I've had enough. Yeah. Time for a change. I started doing. Why did I want to be with the person that doesn't want to be with me anymore? What can I do to change? What words do I need? Started with just words, like define the word love. Find some affirmations about love, and then now I need to write 5 things that I believe about love. And I did that for like a week, and eventually I teetered off of that. But I went abstinent, and I went no alcohol, no drugs, no nicotine. I went cold turkey because I was desperate at that time. Ended up started looking for a place. I found this one for a great deal. It was amazing. I couldn't even afford this place. I said I was going to. I had no clients, no connections. Eventually, I did get with a networking company. That started helping, but then that went south, and then I realized I needed to do more for myself. So I needed to get out there, connect with people more. I needed to get with like you and Jeremy and all this. Just get my name out there. So I've gone to probably 150 small businesses around here. Oh wow! Saying I have this board around here, but all about referring. So the more I can refer out, the more. Like Zig Ziglar says, the more people that go again. If you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want. I've always believed this. If I can help people make money, then in return they'll remember that, and then I can make money. Now, in my industry, can I always help somebody in solar, roofing, buying a new house? No. Correct. But maybe I'll hear something every once in a while. All I need is that one connection, somebody to remember.
Because you never know, and it's kind of interesting. You were talking about, or it's like Dragon Ball Z and recreating yourself, so to speak. I actually did like a prayer not too long ago, and I was talking about that really right at the end. I was talking about a revolution, and it boils down to a tagline that I always say, but I never really explain it. It's there is no tomorrow, and what I mean by that is so many people are living like they have all this time. But if they assume there's no tomorrow and they actually have a revolution within themselves just to go after what it is they want and make it a reality through belief, the world will be completely different.
Oh, yeah. You take away, this is getting a little more deeper than I usually get, but you take away stereotypes. I believe you take away racism. Yeah. We stop acting stuck up, snobby white person. We stop be a thug. We start being just humans, common courtesy. Hold a door open for you. Say thank you. That's all. If there's a stop and I have room, I'm gonna let you in. It's just everybody is too about me and not about what they can do for others. That's the biggest issue that I see in the world. Selfish people.
Yeah, but it's nice to see people on the forefront of trying to change that. and add value. Now, there is a transition I want to make here, and I've been doing this in a lot of my videos. And if you've seen any of my interview style videos or talks or whatever, I've been loving the idea of visualization exercise. I don't know if you saw, I've done like 3 or 4 interview style videos. So anyway, let me set the scene. It's going to be your idea of success. What you're going to do is you're going to wake up that day and you're going to kind of lay out how that day is happening in your idea of success. What it looks like, what you maybe had for breakfast, what are you drinking, like coffee, I don't know. It's yours. It's personal to you. But this day is going to culminate in you actually being invited to an event. You are the main event. Okay, you're speaking to an audience. Friends are going to be there, family is going to be there, and a bunch of people you've never met. They're inviting you there because they want to hear about your idea of success, and part of that is going to be you just telling them about your day. The most important thing as far as coming out there to that event and walking on that stage, though, is your entry music. And what will you walk out to? Think about that, but let's start at the beginning. What does that look like for you? What's your vision when you wake up?
Well, if it's like, say today I was super successful and time hasn't passed, a good night's sleep. So my son, who is a year and a half, one of 3, youngest, sleeping through the night. So anytime I can get a full 8 to 10 hours of sleep, I know 10's a little much, but I'm just saying, from him, I can get a full 12 hours sleep. That is amazing. Mm-hmm. The morning's really easy. I make breakfast, 4 sausages for me, 3 eggs, nice healthy breakfast. I make him some. I spend a lot of time with my son in the morning. So my son gets some fruit, some sausage and stuff, and him not destroying the house before we leave. So that's nice. As for, I'm just very simple. I like having at least 30 minutes to myself, whether it's on a game or just, I'm pro marijuana, just a little pick me up in the morning. Having time to just relax, collect your thoughts before everything gets crazy out in the world is something that a lot of people don't have. They don't have just even 10 minutes of just. As for my day, I don't want to always be a hands-on therapist. I want to be a teacher of therapy. I want to teach people my theories and everything and build a better program. So it wouldn't be a full schedule of massage per se, but more like a 4 to 6 hour of education.
Oh, that's cool.
I have ideas how I want to build a better educational system for therapists. It'd be a year long, and it would encompass learning all. Do you know there's like 60 modalities for massage therapy? Horse massage therapists. There's all these different kinds, but nobody knows. So how do you become like what? How are you supposed to hit your full potential? Right. If everybody's just so it'd be probably educating someone, people, a group throughout the day for my event. Because honestly, if you do that, teaching and you do it over and over again, the event is just going to be a teaching day. It's just going to be a repeat of pretty much stuff you already taught. Mm-hmm. As for the theme music, something exciting.
What would you want to walk out to? I think that music itself is emotion. And so what would you want to walk out to and create that atmosphere of emotion?
Do something fun, upbeat.
Yes.
I'm a huge Breaking Benjamin fan.
Oh, too. Diary of Jane. That's cool.
No.
But I don't know if that's the right to come out to. I don't know. Let me hear your thoughts.
Let's see. You're not really going to get you're going to get more of the musical theme. Want people's attention because people don't have enough attention. So it might be Rain by Trivium. I've never heard Trivium before.
I'll look it up.
But maybe just a small little taste. All you need is the beginning.
Oh yeah. That would get the people on their feet.
Yeah, and then you're running, across the stage.
That's a little Hulk Hogan on him.
You can't go too high with that hand, though.
You stupid. That's hilarious.
I love good beats. I love music.
It does. It does. And I feel like there's music for certain occasions, moments, music to pick you up. Most of the time I'm in the car by myself, I listen to motivational things. Yeah. Like a lot of Les Brown, a lot of Eric.
Great. Oh, yeah. I used to think he was Morgan Freeman. They sound similar.
I like Les Brown. I like Eric Thomas. I just like all of them. Like, so many to choose from. You said Jim Rohn? Rohn?
No, I didn't say him, but he is a good one. I said Zig Ziglar. It looks like an old school like pasture.
Well, I listen to like a bunch meshed together. Mm-hmm. And I like that because it gives me like the highs of everybody's speeches and so on. It's like, ooh, it's just been more and more.
Like, there used to be this one, I can't find it anymore. It was a whole bunch of movie motivational aspects. You had people like Mark Wahlberg, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Coach Carter, the scene where he's like, the only fear we have is things. I love that stuff because someone wrote it, someone put it in a movie, and it was inspiring. So I like anything that's...
I probably know which one you're talking about. Mark Wahlberg, probably from Pain and Gain.
Yeah.
Where it's the beginning.
Yeah. That's how it started. Yes. I can't find it anymore.
I think I know.
Before, there's a Robin Williams one. And
really?
It's so powerful, it could bring tears to your eyes. Because it has some of his best moments about where he's teaching, like, I think Harvard grads why writing is so important, and I think the last phrase is like, "What will be your sentence that's imprinted on this earth," or something like that.
Oh wow!
It talks about one with Matt Damon. Which one that was that he was in with Matt Damon?
Oh, Good Will Hunting?
Maybe, yeah. So there's a bit where they're sitting on a bench. He talks about, you haven't seen, painting, or you've read about the painting. If I talk about, love, you'll talk about getting laid. I'll talk about pretty much being next to someone who's dying. There's nothing, so it's just, there's some powerful moments. You got to have some of the dark with the light. You can't always be like 100% the whole time. So.
Yeah, I agree. It is definitely a journey of emotion, and you just got to make sure you manage and navigate it by bringing in those energies that are essential. Excuse me.
I heard of Jim Carrey's. They're pretty great. He talks about his buddy explained what depressed means. He talks about as it's a deep rest.
Oh, really?
And he goes, the reason why we're depressed is because he goes, I played this Jim Carrey character. Mm-hmm. That's what I played most of my life. But I also played this and this and this. He goes, when you're depressed, you want a break from the person you are. Oh. So you need a break from it. So that's why people might be acting different, but maybe it's because they don't want to be what they were before. So depression doesn't have to be looked at as like a bad thing, but more like a deep rest from the character you're playing. Because that's all we are. We're just little sim characters. And it's funny because think about it. You moved here. Did anybody know you here?
No, just my wife's family.
So you could be anything you want.
That's exactly what I chose to be. I decided to live with my heart wide open because in law enforcement you get really closed. And
you see that.
That's true.
My mom worked for the sheriff's office for 30 years.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy. Man, it's been a privilege coming here and just talking, especially when you get deep into ideas and stuff. I'm going to have you sign us out. Shout out your location, websites, or Instagram, or anything like that. Go ahead and do that for us.
All right. So I'm always big on leaving people with a phrase or some type of quote. So I'll leave you with mine. But before I do, I am located at 4869 West Point Plaza, right next to the hospital. You can find me on Facebook, Ryst Massage, RYST Massage. You can find me on Instagram, same thing. I give away massages all the time. You can come in and get a free massage. So it's a 30-minute consultation where I evaluate the full body with a 30-minute massage. So If you have any aches, pains, you're into golf, fitness, or you're just sick and tired of being where you are, one way or another, I can either help you or refer you out. So the quote for the day will be, have an analytical mind of imagination. Now, what that pretty much stands for is analytical, you have intelligence, right? You need to be aware of what's going on in the world, but you need to have a limitless imagination. So imagination allows us to create things. Everything we see around us has been in somebody's imagination. So a lot of us are dying in the imagination area because of everything is being done for us with AI. Now, it's great that we have that, but we also need to make sure we work those imagination muscles. So remember to have an analytical mind of imagination.
All right. Thank you, guys.